welcome to the world of biology with Barsha Sisodia. Today I am here with a video that gives you an insight about the nervous coordination system. As I have stated in my previous video that all living systems have two different types of coordination systems. One is the chemical coordination system and the other one is the nervous coordination system. Today we are going to discuss about the nervous coordination system in detail. If we broadly want to classify the nervous coordination system into two parts, it can be central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system is actually the central processing unit of our nervous system. It receives the information from various sources, it stores the information, it processes it and sends it back. The central nervous system comprises of brain and spinal cord. Brain is the main thinking part of the body and is present in the cranium box, also commonly called as the skull. The spinal cord, also known as the tail of the brain, is located in the backbone. Actually, backbone protects the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system comprises of all the nerves that send and receive information to and from various parts of the body. As you can see on the screen, there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. That means to say that there are 12 pairs of nerves that arise from our brain. Same ways, there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves, which means to say that there are 31 pairs of nerves that arise from the spinal cord. And altogether, these nerves comprise the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system, according to its functions, can be classified as sensory nervous system and motor nervous system. Sensory nervous system brings the information from the sense organs. Then it is synthesized, processed in the central nervous system, and through the motor nervous system, it will be sent back to the effector organs. Now, effector organs can be voluntary in nature or they can be involuntary in nature. In case if the effector organs are voluntary in nature, it will be known as somatic nervous system, and in case if the effector organs are involuntary in nature, they will be known as a part of autonomic nervous system. Now let us see what is our nervous system made up of. Our nervous system is made up of the single functional unit of the nervous coordination, that is neuron. This we have already read in our class 9th. The complete nervous system is made up of millions of neurons. Yes, millions of neurons are present in our nervous system, out of which most of the neurons are found in the brain and spinal cord. Now, if we see the structure of the neuron, it is divided into two parts, the cell body and the axon. This is the cell body and this elongated portion is called as axon. The cell body has branches known as dendrites. These dendrites are actually the receiving ends of the cell. Whatever information is sent to the cell is received by the dendrites. Then through the cell body, it will be sent out of the cell, that is to the next neurons or to the effector organs through the axon. Now if you observe the structure of axon, you will be able to find some cells that cover the axon. These cells are called as Schwann cells. Schwann cells actually secrete a layer called as myelin sheath, which is fat rich and increase the speed of impulses. That is, the speed of transport of impulses is improved by presence of myelin sheath on the axon. So this axon has a higher speed of nervous transmission because of presence of myelin sheath. Now the ends of the axon are known as axonal terminals. Axonal terminals will either be connected to the next neuron or will be connected to the nerves. When they are connected to the next neurons, they are called as, the structure is called as synapse, and when they are connected to the muscles or the effector organs is known as neuromuscular junction. The structure is called as neuromuscular junction. Now let us see how axonal terminal ends are connected to the muscles. If you observe this diagram carefully, you will find that the axonal terminal ends rest on the surface of the muscle, and number of axonal terminals are connected to one voluntary muscle. Now if you closely observe the structure, surprisingly you will find that there is no physical contact between the axonal terminal end and the muscle. Then how is the connection brought about? The connection is brought about by certain chemicals called as neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters are present in the synaptic vessels present at the end of the axon. Once the impulse is received by the axon, these synaptic vessels containing the neurotransmitters will be released and will be received by the muscle. And once the neurotransmitters are received by the muscle, that means to say that impulse has reached the muscle. Now accordingly the muscle will contract or it will relax. Now let us see how nerve impulses are transmitted through the complete neuron. They are transmitted in the form of weak electrical impulses. These impulses are carried by the axon to the axonal endings. The axonal endings will then pass the message to the next neurons in the form of neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters are released at the synaptic gaps and are received by the dendrite ends of the next neuron. And this is how the messages are received by the next neurons. Hope the things were clear to you all. Let us meet in the next video. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye and take care.